start that over again, Floyd. How old are you?
91.
91. What'd you do this morning up at the mall?
Walked 4 miles,
Do you usually do
8:30
that?
this morning, every day. During the winter, I walk at the mall. The weather's not good for me to walk in downtown. I walk downtown and back, and I walk halfway down, way down Warren Street, around 5 or 6 miles in the summertime that I walk. Then I'm on a continuous diet. I don't eat a lot. I stay at about 130, 35. Yeah.
That's great. We have a picture of Floyd up here, and you can see who he is. Why don't you point yourself out, Floyd? Which one is you?
The one on the left.
The good-looking one. Who's this guy in the middle, Floyd?
That was, the name is Bill from Aberdeen, Scotland. He was, him and I were behind the German lines for 5 months together.
So this picture was taken when you guys were on the run.
Yeah,
behind German
that's right.
lines.
Yeah, just went in and had our picture taken, and they said, well, we'll have it forever, and it'll be a remembrance of what happened to us behind the German lines.
So is this in Rome, this picture?
They're in Rome. Uh-huh.
Before Rome was...
We got haircuts and everything there. There's a good... Some of these, they read my story?
They've all read your story, right?
You read about the story when I went in the barber shop then, do you remember? Okay, that was funny. Yeah, okay.
What happened when Floyd went in the barber shop?
They thought he was a German.
They thought you were German?
They didn't know who I was. They thought maybe it was him. But when I give him the big wink of the eye like that, the barber shut right up and never said another word. He knew, and he didn't know. Then when Rome fell and we got in there, we went, did I put that in the story that we went back there after? Yeah, okay. We got the wine and the food and everything out. We had an awful time. Awful good time.
Well, he's brought in some stuff, we'll look at it later. He actually brought in his uniform too. So this uniform is now 70 years old. I shouldn't even be touching it. So here's his division patch, and it's the Thunderbird, because you guys were the 45th Infantry Division, right?
Right.
And you were actually drafted.
Drafted in the service, yeah.
Drafted in the service. And you were captured at Anzio.
Anzio, yeah.
Did they mention that in the film? The capture part?
What is it?
When you were captured, is that in the film? Did they mention your capture in the film? How you were taken prisoner?
I think you've read it all that, huh? How I was taken prisoner.
Yeah, they read it, but
Yeah.
my question is it in the film? Do you remember?
They were spot?
If it's right, is it in the movie? Do you talk about being captured in the movie?
I don't know. I don't remember.
He doesn't remember. He's only
No,
seen the movie once, but he is a movie star. Would you like to see the film?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me give you a little background on the film, and Floyd will plug in the gaps here. This film is called Bicycle Lessons. He was approached by a couple of filmmakers who had ties to Italy. Apparently they met this Italian gentleman here over in Italy, and somehow they learned about Floyd, and it says Floyd Dumas, American, survived 3 European invasions, only to be captured in Italy. His heroine escaped from
Cinecittà.
Cinecittà, an Italian movie studio prison camp, included hiding out for one night in film scenery. In vivid detail, Floyd gives a glimpse of his life at the Italian underground. The surprising ease with which he and his fellow escapees were able to move about Rome behind enemy lines stands in strong contrast to the stories of fighting with the resistance, assassinating in ambush, all this delivered with the disarming charm of an old man, still vital and happy to be alive. I take issue with the old man part. Okay, so we'll start the film now. You want to have a seat back there?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
We've got our fingers crossed.
You want me to stop recording one second?
I want to see the one myself.
All right. You want to do it? You want to do it from newspapers again? Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Get your exercise again today, you know.
Yeah. That's good.
Can we get on there? Yeah, this is
Really?
Yeah. The Italian part.
The Italian part. Or
Can I stand up? Remind me about Carla.
Oh, yeah,
Why do you want to stand here?
I think it's a good idea.
I don't see
Here's
you.
a couple, will you?
Okay, yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Smile,
What's
Rosie.
this face?
What's Rosie's face?
Ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Your mother gave you teeth. Smile. Rosie.
Back, camera,
Over. Are you on this side?
right there.
Okay.
Different angle.
Kenzie. I like your face that Rosie because it's like reassuring.
Yeah, don't go
and,
away, we got
kind.
another one.
Like, God.
It's come.
Thank you, Beth.
You're welcome.
Well, from that angle, yeah. But I don't have good vision.
I'll take another one. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
She cares for me.
Run up front, Floyd, have a seat. We'll talk.
You tell me what we do.
Want to sit down, Floyd? So what do you guys think of the film? Do you have any questions for Floyd? Or about the film? I have one. Did you get to meet any of the other people that they interviewed in the film? Did you
No.
meet any of those guys? How did the filmmakers find you? How did they find out about
You
you?
know what? I don't even know. They just came to my house one day. I didn't even realize there was this much of Italian in it than it was on me, you know? They never told me that, you know, that they took a lot of this guy from Italian on. They said, those that did his first, and then they got a hold of me.
I wonder if they found this website. That's what I'm thinking. I think they probably found your story online, and they probably got a hold of you.
They
that
could
way.
have. It could be online, I never checked.
Well, this is online right now.
It is.
It's on my
Oh, yeah.
website.
Seems though somebody asked me, would you mind if I put it online? I said, I don't care. Was it you?
Yep. That was about 10 years ago. A long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, tell me about the haystacks.
Haystacks?
You had to hide in haystacks. Or did you not
Yeah,
hide in
we're
haystacks?
living out in the country and we didn't have no place to hide really. So the farmers had stacked these hays up way up in the air. So Bill and I'd go out at night and pull hay out and from the sides of it and the inside of it, throw it up on top, throw it up on top. And then we had enough room in there. Like the summers in Italy are really hot. So we used to crawl into the haystack, pull a little hay to cover up the hole, and could stay there. It lasted about 3-4 days. Then I heard some machine gun firing, and some of the Americans had discovered that the Germans were hiding their ammunition in haystacks, and they were shooting haystacks and they were blowing up. So we had to give that up. So we went to a large cave in the side of a hill that these Italians had dug. I guess they knew they were going to get invaded, you know, and they were ready for it. So they made the side of a huge hill. They made a big room in there where you could have food and everything. Then they planted different plants in the front to hide the mouth of the cave, where nobody ever knew that there was a cave there with people hiding in it. So a lot of the Italians were hiding when the Americans were bombing. Yeah.
And the guys who were shooting the haystacks, were those airplanes?
Huh?
Airplanes were shooting the haystacks?
Yeah, our planes were shooting at the haystacks. I don't know what happened that they did, but they blew up. So we had to get out of that.
So that ended hiding in haystacks.
We stayed in a lot of different homes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it in the, in the write-up where this elderly Italian woman was hiding us? On Via Vettalonia, was that in? Her name was Signora Capazzoni. Was that in it? She were hiding 3 of us.
Oh, yeah.
It's in there?
They remember it, I think. She the one who had the daughters?
No. No, this is a different one than where we stayed. Yeah. Did you find it?
Her name was, what was her name, Floyd?
Signora Capazzoni,
Capazzoni.
and she lived on Via Vettalonia in Rome. You did read it? Yeah. She was hiding 3 of us and ran out of money and ran out of food.
And so you had to go to the Swedish place.
You got it. Okay. Uh-huh.
So you had to go borrow money.
Had to
From
go,
the Swiss
we
government.
went to the Swiss legation and borrowed money, yes. That's right. Yeah, I never had to pay it, but, you know, that's, we lived quite a while on $108.12. It was equivalent of 2,000 of Italian lira then. Yeah.
Now, do you remember when you were freed or liberated?
Yes.
When was it? Was it after Rome fell?
We were staying in a small town outside of Rome when we were liberated. Well, we were hiding in an underground tunnel, and the young Italian kids was guarding for us. And they were supposed to holler to us if there were any Germans around at night. So this kid hollered down into the tunnel, but Tedeschi is in the town. The Germans are there. So Bill was saying, there's no Germans around here yet. The kid said, see, there is. So he came back with a little package of Camel cigarettes that they used to issue to us, and he showed them to us. Well, then we knew. It was the 88th Infantry Division was plowing right through this small town, and we joined right in with them, and we talked to the head guy. We told him that we're escaped prisoners of war, and that's why we're in civilian clothes. So they said, well, follow us into Rome. And at about 15 miles, we walked into Rome. We turned ourselves over to the officials and gave them the story. And they immediately contacted an airplane to fly me right into Washington, D.C. They flew me to Washington, D.C. I was there for 3 days. They wanted the high officials in Washington, we had to talk for 1 hour, 3 days in a row, and tell them what happened behind the German lines. They wanted to know how much equipment they had, how many soldiers were there, how they treated the Italian people, and so on.
So they wanted information.
Yes, they wanted information from me.
They flew you straight to Washington, D.C.
And that was when, you know, I hadn't even had any more contact. So they dropped us off in Washington when it was all over. So one of the guys from Washington says, why don't you go home now on your furlough? I said, I don't know how I'm going to get there. I haven't had any money. I haven't got a dime in my pocket. I haven't got any pay for 5 months beyond the German lines. Well, they didn't realize that, but nobody came up with a buck, though. So I finally said to them, anybody know of a Red Cross around here? The guy said, yeah, I know where there's one. I said, well, get me over there, and they'll give me money to get home. Can you imagine that in Washington, D.C., after all I went through?
You had to beg for money.
And nobody come up with a $10 bill or a $2 bill or nothing and say, here, get them alone. So I finally did get home anyway. All of my parents were all tickled to death, and everybody's in the house waiting for me. I sent them a telegram.
So they knew you were a prisoner of war by then.
Oh yeah, they knew it.
Now
They had different telegrams. I think you had them, huh?
They didn't know that you had escaped though, did they?
No, they didn't know. They knew I was taken prisoner, and then they knew that I was back in the lines. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that here too?
This was Anzio, wasn't it, right here?
Yeah, that was the Anzio.
Yeah. There's the 179th Infantry. That's what I was in. lost 55% of the men and officers. 367 wounded, 728 missing or captured, 670 exhaustion. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, you were there, you saw it.
Yeah, part of there, all right. Yeah,
And you were wounded?
yeah. Wounded, not a bad wound, but I was wounded. Yeah, yeah.
So this is the Western Union telegram that his parents got that said,
From
Secretary of
Washington
War,
D.C., yeah.
Sergeant, we expresses deep regret that your son, Private First Class Floyd J. Dumas, has been reported missing in action since 18 February in Italy, period. Letter follows. Julio, the adjutant general.
That's March 24th, they got it, 1950, what, 53?
40
Up here at the top.
where? Here?
Right here, over this way to the right. Right? Washington DC, 24th, what is that?
5:30 p.m.
Oh, 5:30 p.m., yeah, okay. All right.
That would have been 1943.
And these pictures are people that helped us and took care of us and families that we lived with.
Yeah, these are the two girls.
Yeah, the two girls, and we stayed with them, with their family.
They're cute.
The father plainly told us, don't be making any passes at my daughters.
Farmer's daughters. Can I pass this around, Floyd?
Sure, yeah, sure. These are very, very rich people here. They ran a biscuit factory in Rome that had all kinds of money. They'd invite us to a spaghetti dinner every Sunday. We get over to the room. They gave us clothing, beautiful black shirts, black suits, and yeah. And I can't even remember their names. I know we took their pictures and I got them home.
Pass
Yeah.
those around.
The Italians used to like white silk shirts, so they gave us each that white silk shirt. We used to walk around Rome with a white shirt on.
They had some nice money then, huh?
Yeah.
Now who's this? Do you remember?
That's what, yeah, he owned a theater in Rome, and we stayed with him for 3 weeks. Maglione, yeah. That's his wife and a kid. Yeah. They had their home and everything. They brought us to the theater, and they sat us down with a couple of girls one day, served us drinks out on the patio like this here. Yeah. He was an elderly guy. He ran a theater.
Abby,
Did you ever go back and visit the families that helped you?
did you ever go back to Italy and visit these families again?
My granddaughter brought me back 11 years ago, and I showed her everything. We went. She's a marathon runner, and I was a walker. We never took a taxi or a bus one day. Wherever we wanted to go, we walked to the Vatican, to all over. And there were people that were all dead. I brought her to Via Vitalonia. We found that street, and I found the house that I was hiding in and everything, and showed my granddaughter, and we took pictures and so on. But the other ones, people that hit us in the country too, farmers and so on, we stayed with. I don't have any pictures of them at all.
Did you find them again? You didn't?
No. No. The small town we went in, I couldn't even remember the town after all these years. My memory gets shorter as I get longer.
God bless you. I'll pass this around. This is a telegram that he sent to his parents when he was back in the United States of America. I'll read it. Dear Mother, back in USA, be home few days. Love and God bless you, son Floyd.
Yeah.
August 3, 1944. So she must have been pretty happy when she saw that.
They did a lot of worrying. I mean, her brother was a prisoner of war too. There were two in the same family. They were prisoner of war. Did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, I'm going to show him a picture of that now. Newspaper article. There it is.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
It's gonna blow up.
He died just recently, my brother. I'm the only one left.
What was his name?
Leonard.
It's going to get bigger.
He was a tail gunner on a B-24.
And he was shot down.
Shot down over Vienna, Austria.
Vienna, Austria. He was taken prisoner.
Yeah.
He was taken prisoner by civilians who wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
And then he was forced on the forced marches at the end of the war as the Allies and the Russians closed in. And he was liberated by the Russians,
by the
right?
Russians, yeah. They had very little to eat. I think he went through a lot more than I did, because I was only in the prison camp a few days, you know.
Did he
exactly
ever-
10 days.
Did he ever write about his experience, or?
Not that I know of. No, he never told me. His wife lives this side of New York somewhere now. In fact, we were talking to her yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did he go back to Malone?
Yeah, he went back to Malone, yeah.
And you wound up here in Glens Falls?
Huh?
You wound up here in Glens Falls?
I wound up here in Glens Falls, yeah.
So this is Dumas boys home on furlough together.
Yeah.
So when you went home the first time, after you sent that telegram, after you were liberated, did you have to go back to Europe after that?
No, they never sent me back there. They sent me to different camps in the United States to teach infantry tactics.
Oh.
And and then when my time was up, they discharged me. Yeah.
And your brother was still a prisoner at that time.
Yeah.
Had your parents heard from him at all? Were they getting telegrams or Red Cross?
Gee, I don't even know.
No?
No.
How many children were there in your family?
In my family, 7. 3 boys and 3 girls. Yeah. Father and mother. My father worked for the New York Central Railroad for years and years. And I can remember the Depression. You never want to have one of those again. But I think there's too much money floating around now that we'll never have another Depression.
Do you remember what it was like growing up in the Depression?
I was just a kid, and I remembered that. I mean, nobody had a dime. We're all on welfare. They'd send me to this place to get a sack of flour, you know. I had a little wagon, and I'd pull the wagon down, had to go up these steps or something, where the people gave you the flour so your mother could make bread, you know, to eat. So on one side of it was a great big red cross like that, not to be sold. So I tipped that over in the wagon. I was so ashamed, you know. I didn't let people read it. Some tough times, boy, years and years ago.
There had to be a lot of people who were doing the same thing, though.
Oh, yes. Oh, a lot of people didn't have anything. No, you kids are lucky.
Your mother
Get
had
everything today.
She had a lot of mouths to feed, your mother.
Yes. Yeah, 3, 7, 7 of them, 3, 6, 8 of us. Yeah. Yeah, they all died pretty young, you know. I'm the last one. I'm the last of the Mohegans.
The last people, they know that story.
Yeah.
Who's got another question? That was a good question.
Were
Liz,
you scared that the people you lived with
I
would
can't
turn you
hear
in?
them. No.
repeat it
Were you
louder.
scared that the people that you lived with would turn you in?
Were you scared that the people that were helping you in Italy would turn you in?
No, none of them would. We weren't afraid of them at all. You know, we stayed with some of them quite a while. Yeah, they would never turn us in. They hated the Germans so bad. But once they knew, when they heard like an American, their eyes lit up. You know, because the Italians loved the Americans, and the Americans loved the Italians. So we never had any trouble that way. Almost got caught different times, like being on that bus there that one day.
That must have been scary, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But, a lot of times we did things that we shouldn't have done, you know. Like, you had to have identification papers, and I didn't have any. I never got any. The guy that made out false identification papers was shot and killed. So, I never got any. Bill had them, but I never had them.
Was he executed for making the papers, or?
Yes. Yeah, I was shot in the square somewhere. Yeah. And we couldn't walk when we're in the country to get to Rome. We walked in because we were both infantry. We could walk, you know. And we never went by the roads because the Germans just set up roadblocks. They want identification right away, and I didn't have any. So we walked through the fields all the time until we got to Rome, so there was no Germans around the fields, you know. So one day we're walking through the fields, and I went to Bill like this with my shoe. I said, look at here, Bill. He said, what is it? I said, telephone lines. You know, the Germans were running these lines through the fields to be in touch with every company and every platoon and so on, you know. So Bill winked at me and he said, you know what we're going to buy when we get into Rome? I said, I got a good idea. Wire cutters. Tell me we didn't raise hell. We got into Rome and we bought a wire cutter, and when we walked through the fields, we'd look around like that and make sure nobody's around, but just to be sure, we'd make believe bending down, tying our shoe, and Bill's got the wire cutters, cutting 4 and 5 of them right in a row. We did that for a long, long time. They must have said, well, how the hell can I can't get company A or company B? There's nobody answering the lines. That's something we shouldn't have been doing, but we did it. You know, we're crazy behind the line. Like the story that, sorry to say that we did kill Germans behind the lines, but we were taught to do that. And we were still actually in the army. We killed 8 Germans in one night, singing that Lily Marlene song out in an open field, all drunk. These young Italian kids got us the rifles and the ammunition. At midnight at night, we went over there and circled close enough, drilled them, shot them right down. There came an article in the paper one day, in the Italian paper, if any such thing ever happened again, we're going to line up 20 Italian civilians, put them in the square, and shoot them. So we quit fooling around. We thought we were doing good, but
So,
we hurted the Italians more that way.
did the Germans retaliate for that attack?
No,
They just gave a warning.
they gave a warning in the newspaper. I guess maybe on a radio, I don't know.
Wow.
But we knew enough to stay cool instead. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I love Rome. Most people do like Rome. Yeah, I read all the stories, all the books on Rome. I read it now. And if I wasn't married when I got back from the service, I'd have jumped on a plane and went right to Rome, Italy, and stayed there.
Really?
To me, there's nothing like it. There is nothing like the Italian people and the way they live and the way they are, you know? Yeah. I wouldn't even have stayed in America. I'd have went right back there because they gave us so much help. Yeah. And they're all so very friendly. Never had an Italian enemy. Yeah.
Well, they say that that's what the Italians like.
Yeah.
Has anybody here been to Rome or Italy?
I was
None of them.
Dan, have you been?
Yeah, one night.
One time?
My father was born
Oh, that's
5
right.
miles from Rome.
There's so many young kids going there now, which they should, you know?
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to go, you want to go because there's so many things to see there. It's almost impossible. I mean, we know everything here, New York City and here and there and all over, but you got to get to Italy, I mean, to go to different places and see different things. Yeah, and they're all a very friendly gang, you know? All of them, very friendly. Yeah.
Well, they love the Americans for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, oh, they do. They better. We help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another question.
How old were you when you were going
How
through?
old was I when I was in the Army? 22. Yeah. When I got drafted into service, I was 22 years old. I was working in Alexandria Bay all summer, and I got the notice from the government that I was drafted into the Army. Yeah. So all guys of my age had to go into service. There's no getting out of it. Yeah.
And this guy was already in the service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1940.
1940. He
You
joined
went
the
in
Marines.
1940?
He went in 1940.
Yeah, I guess so. Marines, right? Yeah, yeah, I thought so, yeah. I was in 3 years, that was enough.
That was enough for him.
But I get a good pension from the service.
Still?
I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to worry about money.
Did you go to school?
Huh?
Did you go to college afterwards?
No, no. Just high school, that's all.
And you
Yeah.
became, what did you become for an occupation? Tell the kids. You became a tailor.
A tailor, yeah. When I got out of the service, I was living in Fort Covington, New York, this side of Messina.
Right.
And there was an ad in the paper that Stein Stores Incorporated was looking for a manager to learn the management of stores. They had like 125 stores throughout the United States. You probably remember them. The top of the Glen Street Hill, Stein Stores, the Economy Store. You probably don't remember. Probably not that old. I don't think anybody here doesn't remember that.
I do.
You do.
He
You
had to
remember
walk by on
Stein's?
the way to school.
I probably saw your suit. Well, I learned the tailoring anyway, and I learned it so fast they gave me a store and shipped me to Danbury, Connecticut. My wife and I had just had our first child. And we packed up our things, we moved to Danbury. I ran the store there, and then the guy from the Glens Falls store retired, so they shipped me back to Glens Falls. I ran the store till it went out of business.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've always done tailor work all my life. If anybody could ever learn that, if they want to make a fortune doing tailor work, because nobody takes it up.
Nobody does it.
Nobody does it. No?
He's your man. He'll teach you the trade.
Yeah.
I've been down to his workshop. I've been down in the basement.
Yeah. See, the dry cleaners now charge almost $20 to shorten a pair of pants, ladies or men's or children's. $20. I can do them in 5 minutes. 5 minutes I can do them. When I heard that kid came to my house, he wanted a pair of pants shortened, I said, well, how come? Gone to the dry cleaners. He said, I went there, they want $19.95. He said, I paid less than that for my pants. So he said, somebody told me about you. I said, well, come on down, I'll fix your pants free, you go. I said, I'm going to run 2 ads in the paper against these dry cleaners. I put 2 ads in I didn't say nothing about the dry cleaners, but I put 2 ads in the paper that ran for a week. Floyd Dumas, expert tailor, shorten, do any work on pants, $8. Shorten the pants, take in the waist or let out the waist, but no more cuffs or so on, you know. So, love. I was up at the mall the other day, a woman hollered at me, I got 3 pair of pants for me to do. Yeah, I delivered them this morning.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow, you delivered too.
But can you imagine paying, of course the kids wear their pants so long now. Everybody's long pants. Yours are?
Yeah. I'm short.
Well, some of them are even longer than that, yeah. But it seems to be the style now.
Style. You ever see the ones that have rip holes in your jeans?
Oh,
They sell them in the store like that. Can you believe it?
I was reading an article on Italy the other night, talk about jeans. We're reading this article where they send these kids, these Italian kids, to this place to work in this mine. They get some kind of stuff out of the mine that they take it, they rub it on the new jeans to make them old. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
That's crazy.
So you don't have a new pair of jeans, you have an old pair. But
And they
they
topped
are
out.
new, really.
They get topped
They put
out.
this stuff on the jeans, makes them look old.
Look at me right there.
Need a couple of patches.
Did you buy it in the store like that? Yes? That's the way they sell them, Floyd. I'm
I
telling
see them in the windows, you know, with the holes in it and so
you. It's
on.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I got another picture I want to show you.
It's nice to have the ventilation.
When it's 10 degrees out. Yeah. I like these boards they put in our room. Let's see, where is it? Oh, yeah. see a picture of Floyd's wedding picture?
Yeah.
I got your wedding picture here somewhere.
Well, you got everything here, huh?
Yep. Just a matter of finding it,
Look
Floyd.
at that thing.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh. You know just what to do, huh?
Well, I'm waiting for the computer
Oh.
to respond. It's a big slideshow, so it takes a minute. Should probably blow these windows out. No, I'm not gonna touch it.
What did I just want
Going around. I don't know if
There's our wedding picture. How do you like that? My wife beautiful?
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said I married a teenager.
I think you did.
No.
Movie star.
A movie star, yeah.
Well, now she married one.
I think she waited to like 101 when we were married. She's a little bit heavier now, but not that bad. She's still a very, very pretty woman. Yeah.
And this is when Floyd and his wife came to our high school in 2001, I think it was, Floyd.
What's that?
That picture is like 10 years ago.
This picture?
This one.
This one here. Oh, yeah.
You came to the high school,
Oh, for heaven's sake.
and we were in the high school library.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a hold of everything, didn't you?
Well,
I was only a corporal then. I ended up a staff sergeant. Oh, it's on my uniform now.
right here.
Yeah, I ended up with a staff sergeant, yeah. Well, I never knew you had this. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we took that, and I think I must have scanned that picture when you're here last.
Yeah?
Floyd he was a little reluctant to come in 10 years ago. He was a little shy. But we got him in here, and he's been coming back.
You got me over it.
We got you over it.
Good, thank you.
Telling the story.
Yeah.
So what other questions do you have for Floyd? Here's a question over here from the girl with the hole in her knee. Go ahead.
How old were you when you married your wife? Just wondering.
When you got married, how old were you, Floyd?
Let's see, what year did I get married now?
Better remember.
1945. 25.
25.
Yeah. My wife is 4 years younger. Yeah.
So you were robbing the cradle.
That's what they say. Yeah.
She was 21, he was 25. Abby,
What'd your wife do in the war?
what did your wife do during the wartime? Did
You
you
wanna
know
know
her? You knew her? Did you know her during the war?
Oh, yes. I met her just before I went in the service. 1 week. And we communicated back and forth from every camp and so on. And then when I come home, I had a furlough, got married in 1945. I got out in 1942.
Was she in college, or was she in high school, or?
No, she was a little farm girl. Lived in Fort Covington, New York, this side of Messina.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she was an only child. Her father ran a big, huge farm with plenty of cattle and everything. Yeah.
How did you meet her?
I met her through a girl that I went to school with that were real friendly. And met her at a dance one night outside of Malone. And gee, I really didn't know her that good, you know, but we communicated back and forth, and we got together. And by the way, her mother made the wedding dress. she made the wedding dress. Yeah. That's something new too, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Wouldn't you say this was taken 10 years ago?
That was 10 years ago, Floyd.
Yeah.
10 years ago Memorial Day, I think.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah. I should get you a copy of that.
I'm glad I kept my uniform.
Yeah, this is that uniform.
I wore the pants out, I haven't got the pants to it. You can get them though, Army, Navy, so you buy
Oh, yeah?
the pants to match it. That's 70 years old, that coat.
Is that the
They made a
original-
material, boy, that was good.
Is that the original coat, or did you get a new one from when you were captured?
He wasn't wearing this when he was captured. You weren't wearing this when you were captured.
No.
This is like his dress uniform.
No, that's a dress uniform,
So they had issued, you know, your combat style.
combat uniform, yeah.
Your dress for when you're out in public and such. So Cody got married in though. You see from
Those
the
three
picture?
little marks there are hash marks, 1, 2, 3 years in the service. The other one there, I don't know what that is. I've forgotten what it is.
You know what it is?
You know what it is?
Singles?
One
It's a
dash,
Single slash.
I can't remember.
I almost believe that he knows that he was in combat.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that it? Oh,
Bill
maybe.
said he was in
Yeah.
combat.
I know the 3 marks there, there's a year for each year in the service. Yeah.
We have his frame full of the medals that he was awarded. A lot of these you got long after the war, correct?
Oh, yes, a long time after the war. Maybe like, I don't know, 35 or 40 years, something like that. They all came in the mail to me. And all the thing in the back, it shows that they're true badges. They got them all marked on there right from the government in Washington. Like some guys, they get out of the service and have medals. And they get to drinking and they run out of money, so they sell their medals, you know? That's happened a lot of times, yeah?
It says 17 April 2000.
That's when I got them?
That's when you got him. You got him in 2000.
Yeah. 10 years ago.
45 years after the end of the war.
Yeah.
55 years after the end of the war.
It came all in a little package.
Did you have to ask for them, or?
I never asked for a one. I was surprised when they didn't come to my house, they came to the VA up the line there towards,
Veterans
VA
Affairs.
place.
Yeah.
Can't think of the name of it. He said, "You got a package up here, Floyd." I said, "What do you mean I got a package up there?" He must have put it in for me, the guy at the VA. Yeah.
Of the Warren County.
So I went up there and got Warren County VA, yeah. I went up there and they were all separate in little containers that I saved. So,
Abby.
I think it's quite a few medals.
Hey, Mac, can we move that over, some- no, there you go. Got everything on. There you go.
Where's my photographer?
Thank you,
I think I was working for the congressman when he got those.
Okay. Dean worked for Congressman Solomon.
Solomon, yeah.
Jerry Solomon.
Jerry Solomon, yeah. A wonderful, wonderful guy. Yeah.
Hi. Okay, I'm gonna take another one, sounds really bad. I apologize. Buggy. My memory card is full.
Abby, do you have
Give me a
another
minute.
question? It's full? Start to leave the junk, because I have to get another picture. Go, Abby.
Did you get any awards from like Italy at all?
Did the Italian government give you any awards? Did the Italian government ever recognize you for anything?
Recognize me for any? No, not that I know of.
Okay. No letters or no?
Probably all dead. I had one letter from Italy, and I don't even know where I put it. I don't remember where it was, and it was all in Italian anyway, but I don't remember when I got it, quite a few years ago. I got it packed away somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tori.
Which part of your uniform denotes your rank?
Which part tells the rank? Right here, right?
Yes.
And the rank is what?
Staff sergeant.
Staff
You
sergeant.
can't skip from here.
First one is a PFC, second one is a corporal, and the next one is a, yeah,
He's a staff sergeant, yeah.
yeah. They made good material in those,
It's good wall.
yeah, very good. It's a little bit tight on me now. Too small, a little bit too small, not too bad though. Yeah.
What? Yeah, do we want to get a group picture? I think that would be great. Where should we do it? We're gonna get a group picture with the kids in it.
Oh, God, wonderful.
Should we go back here from the wall?